Today, I want to talk about something I've seen more and more over the past few years, especially in the last 6 months to a year. A lot of people are feeling hopeless about the job market, especially in the tech industry. There are plenty of videos saying how bad things are, so I don't want to dwell on that too much. Many creators don't want to admit it, but eventually everyone does to some extent, and they find they have to acknowledge it. But I'm not here to just repeat the same story. I want to share the techniques that I've used throughout my career and not just recently to deal with hopelessness, discouragement, and that sinking feeling that the world is shifting underneath you. Some of these might work for you, some might not, but if even one person feels less alone because of this, it's worth it. One of the biggest traps, especially right now, is tying your identity to your job. People think to themselves, for example, I'm a software engineer. I work at Acme Corporation. This is who I am. So when a layoff happens to that person, it feels like a part of your identity disappears. I used to do this myself too. Early on, my job title and where I worked meant everything to me. But as time went on, I realized something very important. A job is, well, just a business transaction. It's not your identity. You're not defined by the one company you work at. You're someone with a set of your own skills and strengths that you can bring honestly anywhere. You need to think of yourself as a one-person business. If one opportunity ends, you take your value somewhere new, or you can even build something for yourself. Companies change, markets change, the cycles for the market change, but you stay constant. The sooner you internalize that, the more resilient that you become. Another approach that's helped me tremendously is kind of simple, helping other people. Not because it's a noble or a grand gesture. Honestly, it's self-serving, but in the best way. Helping people makes you feel good, at least it makes me feel good. It puts something positive back into the world, and when everything feels heavy, that feeling matters that you get when you help people. I've helped others through a lot of different means. I've done volunteering, I've supported people's businesses, I've left thoughtful comments on their social media content or their posts, and I've just checked in on friends, family, or colleagues. There was one year where I challenged myself to volunteer for 100 hours, and I didn't know if I could do it. I thought I would fail, but I actually enjoyed it far more than I expected. It pushed me to keep going. Some of the most powerful good karma in my life came during the times when I felt the lowest. When nothing was going right, I'd think to myself, all right, if nothing's working for me right now, I might as well lift someone else up, right? And it almost always comes back around to benefit me. This isn't about toxic positivity. It's about recognizing that human beings are wired to help each other at the end of the day. And when you feel hopeless, even a small act of generosity can anchor you. There's another lesson that took me years to understand. You have to protect what you consume and put in your brain. For a long time, I thought staying updated on every event, everything in the news, made me a well-informed citizen. But I started noticing something. It didn't make me a better citizen. It just made me anxious and stressed, made me feel drained, hopeless. And there are certain global issues that are large and heartbreaking beyond my influence. But whether I read the news today or next week or wait a month to read it, my life doesn't meaningfully change. And neither does the situation that I'm reading about usually. All it does at the end of the day is chip away at my mental health. So I stopped checking daily headlines. I still have big picture conversations, I still educate myself, but I don't scroll through every single update anymore. It's just not necessary. If you're already feeling discouraged, the last thing you need is a feed filled with tragedies and heartbreak. The world isn't as dark as headlines make it seem. In fact, mankind and humanity is objectively better off now than it has ever been at any time in history. Progress is messy, but it's real. Protecting your mental space isn't denial, it's self preservation. Another mindset shift that's changed my life immensely is kind of simple. Assume that most people aren't really out to get you. Sometimes people misunderstand you, sometimes they disagree, sometimes their reaction might feel a little harsh, and it's easy to think, well, what did I do wrong? But most of the time, it doesn't have anything to do with you. They might be stressed, busy, overwhelmed, or dealing with something you know nothing about. If I assume someone is attacking me, I get defensive, I act negatively, and they react negatively too. And suddenly the whole situation just kind of spirals. But if I assume good intent, even when something feels off, I can stay grounded, I can clarify instead of react. This doesn't mean you need to ignore red flags. It just means giving people the benefit of the doubt unless you have real evidence not to. Life becomes much lighter when you stop assuming that everyone's reactions are about you. This next one is personal to me. There are things that I've done in my life that no one believed would work for me. I started tutoring, I started posting on LinkedIn, exploring new paths that didn't fit people's expectations, but those ended up being some of the most successful parts of my life. And people at first didn't believe that I could do those things. I would consistently surprise people. You have to be your own biggest advocate, sometimes your only advocate. If there's something that you want and it isn't dangerous, and the worst outcome is maybe someone laughing at you if you fail, why not try? The job market is brutal. Interviews are draining. Rejection after rejection wears you down. But you only need one yes at the end of the day. One match, one opportunity. Whether that yes comes after 10 interviews, or 100, or 1,000, it has nothing to do with your worth. Nothing to do with your talent or with your potential. Rejection doesn't mean that you're not good. It means, not this one, and that's it. Alright, I know that this video was a little different, but these are the strategies that helped me during the hardest moments in my life. Yes, the job market is challenging. Yes, the world can feel heavy. And yes, it is easy to think that things are getting worse, but everything moves in cycles, including the job market, including our personal circumstances, and including the way that we feel. If any part of this helped you feel more grounded or less alone, I'm glad that you're here. Thanks for spending this time with me. If this resonated with you, feel free to like or subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.